everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Kanyinsola. I hope you're all doing well today. I hope you're all doing great. I hope your family is well. Thank you so much for coming back if you are coming back. And if you're new here, welcome to the channel. Come in, put your feet up, relax. We're a really nice and friendly, warm, I say group, but yeah, we're a really nice and friendly channel here. Feel free. I make videos all about adulting, life, society, I was going to call it politics, politics, culture, all of that I talk about here on my channel. So feel free to come in, press that like button, press that subscribe button, and stick around. As you can see from the title, today I'm going to be talking about limiting beliefs. I've been seeing it happen to my friends or people distant or near to me. It's happened to me as well. It's a frequent thing that I see in society where people might have limiting beliefs, not only in themselves or sometimes in other people. To me, what are limiting beliefs? To me, limiting beliefs are, it's kind of different to imposter syndrome. So imposter syndrome, at least you're in the space, I would expect that you feel maybe you don't deserve to be there, even though there's evidence to suggest that you absolutely should be there. For me, limiting beliefs is more like, you don't even think you should give yourself the shot to apply for a job. You don't think you're good enough for an opportunity. Limiting beliefs can be really detrimental to your own progression. And then if you are projecting onto other people, it can be detrimental to their progression and those near and dear to you. For me, I'm going to be using kind of my own analogies and my own experiences to talk about how I've been overcoming limiting beliefs, because it can literally cripple you. Many reasons why people might experience limiting beliefs, and I'll go into that further in a bit. First thing I'll say when it comes to overcoming limiting beliefs is to take a stock of who's around you. Who is around you? Are they limited in their ways of thinking themselves? Are they limited in the way? One of the great things that's happened to me is having a mentor or mentors who have my best interest at heart. And I remember when I was younger, I used to have a mentor from this young enterprise competition I did, and she'd always send me like articles about young billionaires or young millionaires or self-made millionaires. She's like, "Oh, I can see you doing this. I can see you." And me to myself, I was like, I was in college by this at this time, by the way. Me to myself, I was like, okay, thanks. I don't know how I'm gonna get there, but okay. And I've never been a kind of materialistic, oh, I need to be a billionaire type of person. I've always been, as long as I'm comfortable, as long as I can afford to do all the nice things, what I consider to be a luxury, I'm good with that. I never considered it. So when you have somebody else who's speaking life into you and speaking prosperity into your life and saying, oh, you can do this and you can do that, it's great. My current or my most recent mentor, she would send me job applications, or she would send me opportunities for places where I'll be like, me? Really? For me, it's amazing because those people had belief in my skills, my qualities. I look at their lives and I look at who they are. They also believe in themselves 100%, 100%. So in turn, it's easy for them to tell somebody else, like, believe in your source as well. Like, you got this, like, you can do this. And the reason why it's so important to have people that speak life into you, that want you to do great, they send you opportunities that you might think are bigger than you, is because they are less likely to project onto you. If you're around people who are limited in their own beliefs, they can project so hard. I've experienced it. They can project so hard onto you based on where they are. People can't meet you where you are if they haven't even traveled that far. It doesn't always make them like evil or wicked. It's just, that's just the way. It's not until somebody believes that they can do something. That's just how it's always going to be. They're always going to be surprised that someone else can also do it. Some ways for me, I've had to distance myself from friendships that I might say, oh, I'm going for something, and be like, oh, you really? Or you might see the way that they speak about other people. Let me give you one clear as the example. I've had friends who might be shocked that another friend has a job and be saying, like, oh, like, how did she get a job? Because they're unemployed themselves, and it makes them feel like, why does anyone else deserve the good things that they have? And they put that limit on you. I've told you guys when I had my driving instructor, if you haven't seen that video, go watch it, when I was talking about my driving experience. I told you guys when I had my driving instructor, who'd basically suggested, before I'd even done a test with her, by the way, I'd never even done a test, instructor who, before I'd even ever done a test, had basically told me to switch to automatic before even trying a manual. Like, it was mad. And I, for me, because I knew myself and I knew what I was capable of and what I was working towards, I was like, no, I'm going to get my manual, but you might have to go. I might have to distance myself from you. And that had to be done. And I got my manual license. And now looking back, I think it spoke more to her teaching ability than my ability to learn, because I clearly could do it. I got notes, and I had other people who could nurture that in me and nurture the abilities and be persistent and also just keep trying in me. So it's very important to take stock of who you're around. What's stopping them, what's limiting them, and also try not to internalize whatever that they've got going on in their own lives. So last week I went to a digital summit and something really interesting happened. I had to take a picture of it or screenshot it. If I can, I will insert it into the video. You know, as you do at summits, you have conversations, you share ideas, you share resources with either senior people or people who are the same level as you, you know, all of that. Senior professional from Google who was given their 2 cents and 2 pennies, etc. The attendance at the summit was basically talking about how, oh, they've seen jobs at Google that they would like to go for, but because they never always have every single thing in the this is so funny, every single thing in the criteria or requirement, that they've never gone for it. So if I've got the screenshot, I'll put it in here. So he was like, yeah, I've got every other thing, I've got every other thing you're asking for, but I just don't have this particular thing, one thing on the list. And the guy the senior at Google was basically like, still apply. So it's like, still apply. Like, what the hell? So in life, everything is teachable. I was not born knowing how to talk. I was not born knowing how to walk. I had to learn those things. That whole interaction is quite common, actually, where people don't go for things, don't apply for jobs or opportunities because they're like, oh, I don't have one thing off the list. I remember one of my friends, she sent me an application for something. She was like, oh, do you think I should apply for it because I don't have X, Y, Z? And I said, babe, look at, you've done X, Y, Z. That's how you fit into the criteria. And then guess what? She applied for it and she got it, because I'm not going to let my friends limit themselves in their way of thinking or question their talents or question what they've done in life. It's just not one of my MOs. So again, it goes back to my first point. Who are you around? Who are you supporting? The worst thing that can happen, which it might not even be the worst thing that can happen, because I think it's kind of a new spiritual chapter, is death. And until that has happened, then what the hell? The least they will do is maybe give you a no and then feedback, and you move on with life. Sometimes a lot of these criteria are ridiculous. So then you might be applying for like a technical role and they'll ask you if you've had like 10 years in a software that's only 3 years old. What is the point? So go for things. You might have everything that they need but never even put down on that list. And then when they finally meet you or they interview you, they're like, oh my God, like, yeah, oh yeah. I've gone for job interviews where they were like, oh, we don't want you for this role, but we would like you for that role instead. It's because I still had something in me. If you don't even go for things at all because you're worried that, oh, I might not fit the criteria, you're literally cutting yourself off from your own blessings. Another thing that I've really done to kind of remove limiting beliefs from my life, to change my vocabulary around things. So when I was working towards getting my license, I remember telling someone, oh, I'm trying to get my license. And they were like, stop saying you're trying to get your license, say I'm going to get my license. It's not an arrogant statement. I know some people might be like, who do you think you are? You're going to get this. What do you mean? If you know yourself that you're working towards something, that's not arrogant, especially if you're learning and you're doing the work behind the scenes. That's not arrogant. You are going to get it. If you're putting in the work, the outcome should be results. And I think a lot of people might think, oh, that I don't want to seem arrogant. But there is also humility in learning. If you're learning about something, if you're working towards something, there is a humility in that. You know you have to ask questions. You know you have to, everything needs to be explained to you in layman's term. You know it's a whole new world for you. There's humility in that. So there is no arrogance whatsoever. If you're doing what needs to be done to get what you need to get, why the hell not? I've spoken about how other people might limit you, how you might limit yourself briefly in terms of going for things that you think you might not hit all the criteria for. And I've spoken about vocabulary. Another thing that I think is really important is the belief you have in yourself. And this is closely linked to finding out, why do you have that belief that you can't go for things? What is the root cause? Is it something that happened in your childhood? Is it something someone said to you? Is it what is the cause of you thinking that? Is it who you're surrounded or the environment you're living in? What is the root cause of that's telling you that you don't have the audacity or the caucasity even? Yeah, we're going to get into that. In order to remove that limiting belief, you need to sit with yourself and ask yourself, what is causing me to think I shouldn't go for things? What is causing me to think I can't apply for this opportunity? What is causing me to think I can't date whoever I want to date in the way I want to date? What is causing me to think I can't? What is the cause? What is the root cause? Is it, did you have a toxic boss or a toxic co-worker? And you need to find a way that works for you in terms of interrogating that root cause and removing it, because that is, if you're always thinking in that same spot, I promise you, it will be hard to. It's gonna be like you know those mud puddles where it's like you find it hard to move out. You're gonna sink in it, and before you know it, life's flash before you, and you look back with a regret when you're like, oh, I wish I did that. And the thing is, I know you will look back and regret, because I've seen it so many times happen where someone might have been holding themselves back from something, and they see someone else whom they might think is less qualified go for it and get it, and they're like, damn, I should have done it. Basically, and then even me, I had to sit down with myself. I said, wait, what is going on? I am the daughter of the Most High. Who am I letting talk to me like this and trying to make me feel like I can't do this? Who? Cut it out, dead ass. Cut it. I don't let anyone project their issue into my life. I really don't. I'm very, very protective of my space. So those are kind of all the things I've been doing for myself to overcome limiting beliefs. And it's not just a case of being able to change your vocabulary or making sure you're around the right people. Sometimes it's not just a case of doing all those other factors and things I talked about. Overcoming limiting beliefs can be really, really hard, especially for marginalized groups in society. When we look at history and different policies and laws and regulations that were put in place to really make marginalized groups or ethnic groups feel a way of their existence, to make them feel like they didn't have a right to be there or they shouldn't be in a certain space. We had segregation in America. In the UK, you'd have landlords literally putting up signs, no blacks, no dogs, no Irish, on their windowsills when people from the Windrush generation came over. And I can see how that can then pass through generations, where you as an individual would now feel like, I don't think I should apply. I don't think I should be in this space. When you have every right to exist in this space, you have every right to be there. And there is research being done on complex PTSD, because I think that plays a huge role in how you as an individual can see yourself and see yourself succeeding. Had limitations put on you for so long, that takes a toll on someone's ability to believe in themselves, and also to believe in others. But all those things I talked about are so relevant and so important on an individual level. I think it will be wrong of me to ignore the systematic issues that I face as a black woman, where I might have I might be going along like Dora the Explorer, like, yes, I can do this, yes, we can, and then I hit a roadblock, and it's a racist roadblock, whether that's in work, whether that's in education, whether that's in just my day-to-day life. So worker, there are so many factors that can impact how we view ourselves and how we view the things that we can do or the things that we tell ourselves that we can't do. If you did pick up anything from this video, anything of value, please let me know in the comment section. It really warms my heart, honestly it does. If you haven't watched my last video, which is all about 9 presentation tips, please go and click on it. You just look through my whole catalogue. Have a watch. If you haven't watched them all, have a watch. Go like them. If you watch them and you haven't liked them, go back and like them. Anyway, thank you so much for watching my video. If you reach the end, make sure you click that subscribe button. Make sure you're liking and commenting. I really appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.